Today, adapt or die. Please welcome Steve Francis.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, mate. I love that saying about living in interesting times. We're not on. We are on. You are? Oh, good. Fantastic. We do live in interesting times, don't we? I love that statement. The change just seems to be a constant. We are bombarded by change. So it's either, hands up if you're going through a massive restructure in your organisation at the moment, a few people in that sort of space. Hands up if you are looking at adapting your industry because the world is moving at a pretty quick pace. If you're in that space. Hands up if you're expected to do more with less. Anybody in that space? Yeah, that's a sign of the times, isn't it? So that's what we're talking about, adapt and die today. And I ultimately think we've got three choices in that regard and how we respond to that situation. The first one is to bury our head in the sand and hope that the change goes away. Chance of that happening? Non-existent. It's not going to happen, is it? The second one is we can go fighting against it all the way. We can just use all our time and all our energy just to fight and resist this change. Do you think that's likely to happen too? Not a chance. My advice is to take the third option, which is to steer that change, to try and adapt and head in the right direction. The most important decision that you make every single day is your attitude. It's a choice you make when you get out of bed in the morning, but it also has a huge impact on all the people that you work with. Your reputation, how they view, how they connect with you, depends a whole stack on your energy and your attitude. So when I catch myself being tempted to gossip, I have to bite my tongue, go, whoop, that's not going to work. I have to live the reputation I want to have. Because if other people, I want them to view me that way, I have to act that way. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. So that's the attitude component. The other part, of course, is the learning. We need to be learning faster than the pace of change. Now, that is a serious challenge, given the pace of change is so fast at the moment. Now, I love this quote from Alvin Toffler. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. It's all about learning and growing. And that's my area of expertise, is about learning. So we've had an example of that with adult learning. You need to be up, you need to be connecting, you need to be thinking about things in this sort of learning space. There's a lot of science behind the learning. Now, with all groups that I work with, I take my final opportunity to challenge you to avoid DHS. Now, I worked for 20 years in education, so you've got to have a TLA for everything, a three-letter acronym. So Deferred Happiness Syndrome, DHS, is I'll be happy when the kids leave home. I'll be happy when the weekend's finally here. I'll be happy when the house is paid off. I'll be happy when I'm long service leave. I'll be happy when he shuts up and leaves me alone to have afternoon tea. Now, I'm passionate that life is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real thing, and you need to be living for today. So don't wait for a life crisis to come across you before you come up with your bucket list of things you want to do in your lifetime. So in my last 4 minutes, I'm going to challenge you to come up with 4 goals of things you are going to achieve this year.